It's been hosting presidents and dignitaries for decades, but now the State Department and the White House are checking out of the Waldorf Astoria. Good evening once again. I'm Maurice Dubois.
Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Christine Johnson. The Waldorf Astoria is now owned by a Chinese company.
And concerns about spying and hacking have the U.S. government putting up diplomats elsewhere in the city. When it comes time for this year's UN General Assembly session, CBS 2's Sonia Rincon has this story new at 5:30.
The Waldorf Astoria will no longer be home away from home to high-profile international leaders. A Chinese insurance company called Anbang bought it from the Hilton Corporation last fall. But this fall, some diplomats and possibly even the president will be staying at the Palace Hotel around the corner when they're in town. The State Department has made no formal announcement of the change, but CBS News foreign affairs analyst Pamela Falk calls the decision a prudent tit for tat.
Because the Chinese have made so many cyber attacks and eavesdropping against the United States, it's very prudent for the United States to make sure that all of these important bilateral meetings with heads of state don't take place where they're going to be transmitted to China.
Congressman Peter King of Long Island applauds the move.
This would be a way for us to send a signal to China that we're not going to keep putting up with what they do.
The sale to Anbang will allow the Hilton Corporation to continue to operate the Waldorf Astoria. But the deal also calls for a massive renovation, and that's triggered concern in Washington.
This is the ideal opportunity, unfortunately, for China to install eavesdropping, bugging devices.
There's been no decision about whether to move U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Samantha Power. She lives at the Waldorf with her family.
I've been in there. It's a great suite. I think Samantha Power does a good job as UN Ambassador, but I would strongly recommend she find another place to live.
Pamela Falk has been there too, and last fall asked if the family was concerned about the new ownership.
And their answer was, well, what will they listen to? Us feeding our children dinner or them screaming for dessert? And the reality is that as the cyber attacks from China increased, the real issues related to security and all the receptions that take place there.
The lease on the suite is up at the end of the year. On Park Avenue, Sonia Rincon, CBS 2 News.
And a statement from a Waldorf spokesperson says only that it's always a privilege to host diplomats and that the hotel hopes to have the occasion to welcome them back when the opportunity presents itself.